Need some help hearing more clearly on your iPhone? Stay with us. I'm Fred Fishkin with another Techstination interview, and with us from Noopl, Noopl, is Head of Customer Service, Paul Burchfield. Thanks for joining us, Paul.
You got it, Fred. It's great to be here.
So what exactly is a Noopl?
What is a Noopl? Noopl is simply a device that makes people who have trouble hearing in noise hear clearly. It's an iPhone accessory. Connects to the bottom of your iPhone and allows you to focus the microphones on the conversation you want to hear and also reduce the background noise.
And obviously it's doing that on the fly. You're not pointing it at where you want it to go. So describe for us how it's doing what it's doing.
Sure, absolutely. Let me point down at my phone here. So the device just plugs into the bottom of the phone into the lightning port. And once it's connected and the app is running, there are 3 microphones on the bottom of the Noopl device. They pick up in a 360-degree field, and through the app, you can then focus the beam on the person that you want to talk to or the people you want to talk to. Sometimes I think about it like a flashlight. Often flashlights allow you to direct that beam somewhere, and then you can make the beam wider or more narrow, just depending on what you want to illuminate. Noopl's able to do that same thing. And then once you have the direction pointed, we can also apply some machine learning AI-based noise reduction. So the whole purpose of Noopl is focusing on what you want to hear and then being able to dial down the background noise.
Now, some people might be thinking, okay, well, that sounds great for taking videos or something with my iPhone. Is it designed for that?
No, it's actually designed for live in-person communication. The really easy scenario is you go to dinner in a noisy restaurant, all kinds of clatter of people, of servers, of music playing. And lots of us have that issue of hearing in noise, where even in quiet, we can communicate fine. But once that level of background noise starts to creep up, where it's approaching the level of the people that you want to talk to, it becomes very difficult for people to hear. And that's what Noopl is designed to help with.
So it's a hearing assist kind of device.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are people who test, at an audiologist and their hearing is fine, but they still have that issue of hearing a noise. And there are also people who might already wear a hearing aid or a cochlear implant in their day-to-day life. They still have this same issue of hearing a noise. So we can work with people who have diagnosed hearing loss, but maybe they haven't yet gone to hearing aids. And we also will work with those who use hearing aids. Apple has protocols that were developed with the major hearing aid manufacturers called Made for iPhone. So often we can work with somebody's Made for iPhone hearing aids as a supplement.
So step us through how this works. People need to have, besides the Noopl, they need to be using, do they need the AirPod Pro, or what do they need?
Yep. Great question. So you definitely need something in your ears. And what we have found works best are AirPods Pro.
Can people use other earphones?
There are right now only 3 headphones that we found work best with Noopl, that we've qualified with Noopl. And they're all actually come from Apple. AirPods Pro, Beats, Power Beats Pro, and then the AirPods Max. Those are the over-the-head headphones. But for the most part, AirPods Pro are really popular and they work well. The reason that we haven't yet found other headphones or earbuds that work with Noopl is all about latency and Bluetooth specifications. It just takes time for the signal to be streamed from your phone to your earbuds. And that time can affect how you perceive the sound. And other than those three particular headphones, we haven't found any where that Bluetooth latency is low enough to make Noopl useful. Hopefully that changes in the future, but right now it's those three headphones or made for iPhone compatible hearing aids.
Well, step us through the user setup and how
Yeah.
it would be used in everyday
Yeah,
life.
sure. Absolutely. So imagine you get to that location where it's loud and you know you're going to have trouble communicating. I'll go to this top-down view. So the first thing that you'd want to do is take your Noopl device and insert it into the bottom of your phone. Now, I've already gone through the initial setup. And so right now, Noopl's asking me to insert an AirPod Pro. So I just take the AirPod Pro out of the case and put it into my ear. And right now, we're just waiting for Apple to say you're connected. And now it has, and it's directing me to insert my left AirPod. And then once I do that, I'm in Noopl. And right now we're in automatic mode. And this is one of the great features of AirPods Pro. Now you and your viewers might know that Apple has technology called spatial audio and dynamic head tracking. So Apple knows when I'm moving my head to the right or when I'm moving my head to the left. We take advantage of that with Noopl and direct the focus of our microphones in this automatic mode based on where I point my head. So as I move my head right, you can see the blue focus indicator saying now the microphones are actually pointing in that direction. And if I swing my head to the left, you see the focus changes to the left.
And it's designed for you to put your iPhone down with the Noopl and not be holding it, obviously.
Correct. In most scenarios, when you're using Noopl, you're stationary. So if you happen to be somewhere where you have a flat surface, you can go ahead and put it down there. We've actually designed Noopl to know whether you're holding it or whether it's flat on the ground. When it's stationary like this, some of the sound characteristics know that there's reflection from this surface, which would be different than when I'm holding it. So I can hold it. We do basically want to keep Noopl relatively flat, somewhere within 30 degrees of flat. Doesn't work as well when you have it vertical. And that's just because of the orientation of the microphones and how they're picking up all the sound that's around us.
And when you get a phone call?
Well, we're streaming audio. So just like any other audio playing from the phone to your AirPods Pro, whether that's music, podcast, you're watching a video, when one piece of audio is streaming and another one comes in, Apple disables one in order to get to the other. So you can't have two sources of streaming audio going into your AirPods.
So it would disconnect, I guess, the Noopl function to be able to let you answer the phone.
Exactly. It would pause the stream while that phone call comes in or whatever that other interruption is. And then when you want to go back to talking to somebody, you can just restart Noopl's stream. What's
the story behind it, Paul?
It's really interesting. I'm going to take this AirPod out and I can hear you even better. Noopl was created by a person who went to dinner with his father, and his father had a pair of very expensive state-of-the-art hearing aids. They happened to go to a loud restaurant, and despite wearing those multi-thousand-dollar hearing aids, they were just amplifying all the noise. And our co-founder thought that there had to be a better way. There had to be something that could be done in order to help people hear a noise. And so it was through his own experience with his father that Noopl was developed.
Interesting. So when it comes to availability and pricing, what can you tell us?
Well, right now, we just began shipping generation 2 of Noopl. Noopl 2.0 began shipping to about the first 50 people who ordered it yesterday. It's available for order through our website, noopl.com. It's $249.
which obviously is a lot less than those expensive hearing aids that you were talking about.
That's absolutely right. You know, the fact is that in the United States, hearing aids can run anywhere from a few $1,000s, $1,500, up to $6,000 or $7,000 for hearing aids. And while Noopl's not right now, it's not a direct replacement for hearing aids. You know, people who wear hearing aids are wearing them all day long. They need to amplify, sounds across varying frequencies depending on what their hearing is like. Noopl really is situational. It's for hearing in noise. So for that hearing aid user, I can't hear a noise. People who have that kind of trouble often stop going out. They've become frustrated because they know that when they get into that situation with a lot of people and a lot of background noise, they can't participate. They get tired of asking people to repeat themselves over and over again. So they disengage. They turn down the invitations to go places with their friends and family and withdraw. And what is wonderful about Noopl, and we hear this from our customers, is that we're allowing people to re-engage, to get back in with their friends and their family and become social again. Of course, given the limitations in this day and age of what we're going through with COVID, but it really is something that it's heartwarming. It's a great use of technology to help people reconnect with others in person.
Very, very interesting. So this is available for people to order now.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to the battery life on the phone, because there's no battery in this directly, is there? Or is it powered directly from the phone?
That's correct. Absolutely. So the power we just draw from the phone's battery through the lightning port.
Does it have an impact significantly at all on the battery life on the phone?
No, it's you would never notice the battery life. The draw is so small. And again, unlike something that you're going to be using constantly, it really is situational. So if you're having lunch, maybe you've got it plugged in for an hour right there. You would never notice that amount of power we use.
Terrific. Again, it's Noopl, and the website is noopl.com.
That is correct.
Paul Burchfield, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
You're welcome, Fred. Thanks for having us on. We appreciate it.
Now this. It takes a lot of listening to build a better radio, and that's just what the folks at C. Crane have done. Bob Crane and his crew, nestled among the rivers and tallest trees in the world in Fortuna, California, have made a habit of listening to their customers. And that's just what they've done in building the CC Skywave SSB, the Swiss Army knife of portable radios. For everyday listening to AM or FM in the yard or patio or on the nightstand without having to drain a mobile phone battery, it's a great companion. But it is also a companion equipped for NOAA weather information and alerts that can be life-saving. You can listen to FEMA and Coast Guard transmissions too. Beyond all of that, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world. It's compact, easy to take with you, and built to last. The CC Skywave SSB. Click on the link at Techstination.com.